Back to back, 2 videos in a row. So we're going into a video which is the biggest video. Obviously, I used to compete. I'm very open on my Instagram. I've used anabolics, come off anabolics, restored naturally, gone on TRT phase with optimal fertility. And I always share everything. So one of the things that we've done on this channel is we've put out a lot about TRT. And if you scroll back, you'll see videos on TRT. And someone said to me, you know, on my check-in sheet, it says anything you want to see me cover on YouTube. I'm interested in knowing about TRT. I want to know a tiny bit more. So I've got a few things to try and break it down and summarize. And a lot of the time, as I post on my Instagram every day, people will feel tired, feel lethargic, and Jace, I think I need TRT. Sometimes it's not the answer. So how to determine if you need TRT? Firstly, I don't believe anyone under their 30s directly needs TRT unless they've abused anabolics for a long time from being a competitor or for whatever reason, and now they have to rely on TRT. Personally, I think it's a mid-30s thing, personally. I'm only 30, but I'm on TRT because, again, I competed, I restored, and for me now to stay optimal, it's using TRT. So yeah, when is it prescribed? Typically when you have low natural testosterone levels. That's personally, you know, that's probably going to be if you're sitting at 11 nanomoles, 9 nanomoles, 8 nanomoles. The doctors might say, hey, you might need a bit of TRT to help support your testosterone levels, yeah? But what we need to know about using TRT or testosterone at higher dosages, it can shut off your LH and FSH, which is your stimulating hormone, which exogenous testosterone can shut down. But that's a topic for another video. We can always restore that and keep that optimal on cycle by HCG and HMG, but that's a whole video within itself. So when is it prescribed? Typically men mid-30s. It's getting younger and younger, but I would say mid-30s and above if the doctors deem you need it. I've got some clients 40, 45, absolutely optimal testosterone level. Everyone is different, and lifestyle habits, stress, loads of things, being overweight can all determine whether someone's natural testosterone levels dip. So that's what I would say. Personally, is it safe? I would say yes, if it is prescribed by an experienced coach or by a doctor, which you can be managed, which there is constant hormone checks, constant blood work. Yes, it is very safe. Some people off the back of using it can see a spike in estrogen, but again, that's why you do blood work, that's why you see a doctor. So when's it prescribed if you've got low testosterone levels? How do you take it? Personally, the personal dependent, if you was to use a proper TRT dose, like some people make up their TRT doses, I would say an average TRT dose is between 100 mg and 175 mg, in between that region, depending on where you are. That's my personal opinion before anyone comes to me. I think anything more than that, you start to run into upper end TRT or very low cycles. If I was to do 120 mg per week, which I do since last week, I would just prescribe that in one shot per week, just because I don't like pinning too much. But some people will split that 60 mg and 60 mg to keep levels nice and stable. And that could be used with a syringe and needle, or that could be used with an insulin pin, your personal preference. Insulin pin is going to require less pip, but some people just find it a bit of a ball ache. So that's how you essentially take it, once or twice per week. But some people do microdose daily, some people do it sub-Q, which is into your body fat. Some people do it intramuscular, delt glute. So again, there's a few ways to take it. The next question is it for life? It's personal dependent, that. It's personal dependent. So that's what I would say. In most cases, it is a long-term treatment at the end of the day. Side effects, positive, increased libido. Negative, potentially increase in estrogen. Positive, increase in body composition. Positive, increase in strength. But you're not going to get massive. You know, at the end of the day, a lot of you will just recomp, feel good, get out of bed, feel amazing, increase libido, increase sex life, etc., which is naturally going to make you feel good. But there is some stories. Some people, high estrogen, gyno, do you know what I mean? There is a negative with everything, but I can't speak for everyone. Do you know what I mean? Can you have kids on TRT? Yes, if you run the correct protocols to ensure you can have kids on TRT, absolutely. But that's a whole different video where I unveil the secrets for that. What ester do you need? I always say running a test cypionate is probably the most responsible, well, that's not the word, is the most, I would just say test cypionate or test enphenate or testosterone, test enphenate, so test cypionate would be my first option, then sustanon, and then test enphenate. That would be my personal opinion. And a usual TRT dosage, as I said, is, in my opinion, is between 100 and 175 mg. Blood work, naturally, I'm a bit of a blood work junkie. Obviously, I'm sponsored, so it works in two ways. Obviously, I don't pay for blood work, but even if I had to pay for blood work, and when I was paying for blood work, I was getting it done sort of quarterly. I think it's good to get it quarterly, to not just to see what your hormone levels are, but just to see other levels, you know, like, listen, you can run TRT, but if you're eating shit and your cholesterol's going to go sky high, so you need to look at that and how to fix that. And there's just so many markers you can look at. So that's just a bit more advice on TRT and an honest perspective, because I feel like it's the biggest topic in the fitness industry after growth hormone in the last few years. And apart from Ozempic, but that's another video I'm going to do Ozempic as well.